This is the Grumble and Grouch show, and we all welcome you to this latest episode. And today we decided, even though we're supposed to watch Deadpool, we had nothing going on.
Deadpool? When does that come out?
I think like a month. How about that? So we decided, let's watch something different. We love horror, Grouch and I, so let's watch Abigail. But to be honest, before that, we were supposed to watch Star Wars, Acolyte. But we got through a couple episodes, and what killed it for us was, I told Grouch, this is going to be lesbian space witches. And he was there. He loved the idea. Once we got to that episode,
I was like, wasn't it hot lesbians?
I think I said, I don't think I said hot lesbians. I think I said, yeah, those are lesbians.
I'm out.
To be honest, none of them were hot. None of these lesbians, any of them were hot.
And
so
it's not worth watching.
Yeah, so we kind of checked out at that point.
And on that, and on that point, also, why is karate make it all the way to a galaxy far, far away, man? Karate is universal now.
This is a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
No,
and they were aware of karate and kung fu and shit.
Everybody's a kung fu master.
Yeah, they're all kung fu masters. That kind of took us out of it. And then once we got to lesbians, I guess I was misdirecting myself because I thought we're going to have some hot lesbian action. There was that one hot lesbian in this whole show. I was like, yeah, you know what? I was bamboozled.
The only hotness was, it was hot at Grumble's house. I was like, turn up the AC. I was like, who keeps their house at 80 degrees?
Hey, I got bills to pay.
What kind of cave is this?
I can afford it. So we decided, what's plan B? And plan B was Abigail.
More like Abigail.
No.
What a movie. Actually, I'm not going to lie. I was entertained like half the time, though.
Listen, I thought it was really good. There's a lot of good scenes. I was like, screw Avatar. We have got a new leader in the... of all the movies we've seen, I thought this is the best one we've seen.
In the Grumble and Grouch universe,
we had a new Avatar. Yeah, in our Grumble and Grouch universe, this could have been a number one, but the ending failed miserably.
No, but even throughout,
there was it was a mixed bag.
I was like, what is
sure.
this, man?
But so was Avatar was a mixed bag.
But I was like, is this a comedy? Like, I don't know, man. But it was. I mean, it was cool. I didn't know anything about Abigail.
Neither did we. We went into it completely blind. And to be honest, I thought it was going to be about super-powered rats. Listen, we knew nothing about this movie going into it, and we saw this one guy go into this room, and these rats attacked him. And
he had like the Mighty Morphin lighter, man. He's like,
yeah.
Every time he turned the light, it was like.
Yeah, but yeah, these rats dragged this guy off. I was like, and not only drag him off, they chewed his head off. Yeah. I was like, damn, these freaking rats. I thought Abigail might be the rats. I don't know.
Like Ratatouille, that was their name.
Ratatouille.
Or something. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Abigail.
Yeah. So the movie starts off. I thought the movie listen, this is a great start. No nonsense. They want to kidnap this little 10-year-old, I guess, a little 10-year-old girl. They want to kidnap her.
Something.
Yeah. So
I wasn't crazy about ballet, but yeah.
No, I had no problem with that whatsoever. Strong start. And they see a little girl.
She's a ballerina. She's dancing away.
Yeah, nobody in the crowd. I guess rehearsal time.
It's about a vampire girl.
Yeah, but don't give the spoiler alert.
I mean, who can't tell she's a vampire? Look at her teeth.
Listen, I didn't know. I thought it was overpowered rats. And then they show, which I really appreciate, the beginning credits. They already show these people want to kidnap her, and they're all getting prepared. They got a little sniper, and they're getting ready to kidnap this little girl.
And they were like professionals, man.
No nonsense.
They didn't F around, man.
I was on board. This is a great start.
Even though like one of the weakest characters is introduced, I did not like this white boy.
I don't even know his name, but he sounds like a freaking... he can barely complete a sentence the way he spoke.
I just didn't like him.
Yeah.
The movie probably would get a higher rating if he wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was bad.
He was like a little pothead dude who was just like... spoke so slowly and I hated him. Yeah.
You like a nanny or babysitter looking after that kid? And man, here's the bag, man, for that dude who let us in the door. Lookout / private security.
We went to this movie completely blind. Didn't know anything about it. So
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, so they kidnap this little girl. They give her an injection into the neck, knocks her out cold, and now they got her, and they take her to this mansion. Gotcha, bitch! So they get her, and they take her to another mansion. I don't know whose mansion this is, but whatever. They got her now. She's fully apprehended. So now it's like I'm going to say 7 characters. And of course, who is the head honcho? Who is the most, the one leading this pack of criminals? Of course, it's a little white girl. She's so with it. She has so much wisdom. She's like, they have this one guy, he's telling everyone what they're like, and she goes, you couldn't be more wrong. Let me tell you about everyone here. And of course, she's spot on. She's such a smart, with it, 3-year-old. Oh my gosh, she's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so street smart. That's the thing, too, is like that the 20-year-old, she knows everything about everything. And then she's calling everyone out. Well, I know you are an ex-con who used to do yada, yada, yada. And I know you're this and the other. And I was like, oh, have we got back on the Acolyte? Is this another space witch? How the fuck does she know about everyone? This is their background. How the fuck?
She should have told herself this movie was not the way to go, man.
Bro, I think we're back in the Acolyte with some space witches. So, yeah. So the main character, that's another thing, too, is you knew the main girl, this brunette, I forget her name in the movie.
Her name was Joyce, Jody, something like that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Something with a J.
Something with a J. Yeah. So something with a J says to the girl...
Let's call her JJ.
Yeah, she goes, I'm going to protect you. I will make sure nothing happens to you. And the little girl... That's something, the bad writing. So they just kidnap this little girl. They take the blindfold off her. And she goes, what's your name? I don't know if she never really gave her a name. And then she goes, do you have any children? He goes, yes, I have a little son. What's his name?
Justin.
Yeah. What's that you do for fun?
Do you have any kids? What's his name? What's Justin like? What does he like?
What are you watching? How are you really getting guys kidnapped? And you want to talk to your kidnappers? Oh, do you have any children? What's his name? What's that you do for fun? What do you guys like to do on the weekends?
She's like, Justin, just in case I want to eat his heart out.
Yeah. Yeah. Already, I'm like, come on. Now, the little 10-year-old gets kidnapped, and she's like, what's your son's name? What's that do for fun? Ugh, stupid. And she goes, help. And then when she walks out, she goes, what'd she say? I'm sad to see what's going to happen to you. And then she goes, I'm going to eat your heart last.
Dracula's my dad. Oh, my God.
Oh, and then at one point she goes, who's your daddy? She goes, my father is Count Dracula. She said, okay, bye. She walks out.
She ends up being a little vampire.
But wait a minute, we don't know that yet. We just think she's a little girl.
I've been knowing. I looked at her teeth.
No.
I was like,
listen,
what's wrong with her teeth?
Because she got crooked teeth doesn't mean anything. No. Okay. Now listen, I just thought it's a little girl.
A rich girl getting into a Bentley with messed up teeth, that's a vampire, bro. Because they can't afford freaking dentistry.
They couldn't take her to orthodontist?
Yeah, they can afford dentistry.
Yeah.
So I was like, something's up, man.
Oh, and listen, there were some flags here, red flags, that I was like, oh, here we go. Because, of course, the main character is a little girl, fine, little...
ballerina.
Right. And then the secondary character, who's like the second main character...
the other girl.
...is a strong white female who knows everything about everything. And she don't scam easy. She goes, I'm a single mother, and I've seen it all.
I'm a superhero.
Yeah. Basically, she's another superhero. She's a single mom who's seen it all and done it all. Yeah. So you can't hoodwink her. Yeah. She's been through everything.
She's like $7 million in taxes. I'm only taking home $5 million.
Yeah. You know how much that put me in a different tax bracket?
I know it all. I know it all.
Okay, so anyways, eventually they all settle down in this. They kidnap the little girl. They take refuge in this huge mansion. Again, I'm not 100% clear why they're in this mansion, whose mansion this is, but
We saw the Breaking Bad guy.
yeah, the
Pollo's
Breaking
hermano,
Bad guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's the one that's like,
He's great in this. Yeah,
we'll be back. I'll be back. You're gonna get paid $7 million minus taxes.
right. So they're all like, now they kidnap the girl, and now all of these people are just gonna relax, just try to bide their time and do their own thing. So this one little blonde girl finds her own a little room, and she sits back and she's watching cartoons. I think it was like Woody Woodpecker. So she's like sitting back, relaxed, and all of a sudden,
That was the guy's lighter, by the way.
and this guy lights his lighter, and it sounded like somebody's lit off an M80.
I was like, oh.
And the girl's like, "What the hell was that?" And that's the loudest lighter I ever heard in my life.
It was crazy.
So then, of course, the blonde girl loses her shit because an M80 just went off in her ear. And so she asks the guy, leave this room. So he leaves. So now he wanders around. Eventually, he finds his way into the...
Oh, this is the Ratatouille part.
This is the Ratatouille part. So he finds his way...
We don't know she's a vampire yet.
No, we have no clue, to be honest.
Other than the teeth.
Yeah, listen...
A rich girl with bad teeth. I don't buy it.
Yeah, already I'm a little hesitant. Hold on, man.
I don't buy it.
How much do they really have if they can't get this girl to an orthodontist?
Remember, followers, you're not ugly. You just broke. And this girl wasn't broke. And she had bad teeth. She's a vampire.
You tell me you can't afford braces?
Yeah, bro. She's a vampire.
Yeah. So the guy assembles down into the kitchen, right? The kitchen. So...
Like, yo, man.
The way this guy talks, he goes,
man.
I need to get myself some grub.
Yeah, man.
So
Yo, hook me up, bro.
Hook me up, man.
Hook me up.
So he goes to the kitchen, and now he's scavenging, looking for something to eat, and then he hears the noises in the next room. So he goes to investigate. So what is that? He looks. There's a couple of rats, and he's like,
Ratatouille.
"Is that you, Ratatouille?"
Megan?
So he tries to get away.
Louie.
All of a sudden, Ratatouille grabs his legs.
Or we think it's Ratatouille.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Ratatouille attacks. And it's, is this a fucking rat movie? Is these fucking rats like superpowered?
Yeah. His head was chopped off, bro.
And the next scene, they see his body and his head. He's decapitated. And I was like, damn, those fucking rats gnawed through his neck. And now he's decapitated. Which of these rats is called Abigail?
Which is the name of the movie.
Yeah, because up until this point, I know nothing about this, and I just see a couple of rats manhandle this guy. And I was like, okay, which of these rats is Abigail? They all get together and they say, what's happened? And so they kind of suspect that this girl's family is connected, and they maybe have mafia connections, like who killed this guy. They had no idea it was the rat, which is all we thought. Damn, those freaking rats are superpowered. And one of them is probably called Abigail. The girl messed up because she took the blindfold off the little girl. And so one of the gangsters goes in there, and then now he has to cover his face because the little girl's seen him. So he runs out. And now they think this girl, Abigail, knows more than what she's letting on. So there's one big bruiser guy, and send the bruiser in. He's gonna get some information out of her.
Yeah.
So everyone agrees except for the main character because she's such an enlightened, wonderful girl. And so they send the bruiser in to interrogate her using his own methods. Mm-hmm. Goes in there, and what happens is, so this 98-pound girl goes in there and practically breaks this guy's arm. He's like, how dare you question her? She's an amazing little girl. So that's what I'm saying. There's a mixed bag, good and bad. I thought it was so freaking weak. This little...
I remember her name. Her name was Joey, bro.
Joey. So Joey, the hero of the story, runs in there to save this freaking little girl because this guy wants questions. All he's going to ask her questions. But no. Of course, Joey has to go in there, practically break this guy's arm, who's like 3 times her size and weight. And the guy's like, oh, what did you do to me? Because his arm is so messed up. And so what happens now is, so they all get back together and they got to regroup and discuss this. And like,
And me and Grumble regroup. And we got another beer.
Yeah, we had to regroup.
Cheers.
Chibler.
Yeah, we regroup.
Another beer.
Hey, so far it's still watchable.
So far, listen,
watchable.
this is not that bad. For us, this is like...
Hey, remember this name? Abigail.
For us, this is like one of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, bro, this is Oscar worthy.
So they have to regroup, and they all get together. And like I said, is of course that little brunette has to run shit. She's calling the shots. So you got to confront her. Now all of us have to get together. All this whole group.
Well, the guy's dead, right? The one guy's dead.
Right.
And then the black guy,
the guy who's always seems like he's stoned.
He's dies,
he's dead.
Right? So they go out to the girl, and they don't know who killed this guy, right? But they think it's the guy with the glasses, right? I think his name was Frank or something.
Right. Yeah, because a little girl says like a double cross.
Yeah, so she knows
she's
what's happening. She's playing these
trying
people.
to play each other against each other.
And there's a black character, and then he tries to team up with Joey. Next thing you know, bam! He's the next one to die.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch!
Lit up quick, man. He's like literally took the corner, and he's already dead. And
Yeah,
she's,
man.
hey.
Yo, half his face was missing. I was like, damn, these rats are good, bro.
Yeah.
They fly, too. But anyways, they eventually figure out that it's the little girl.
So it's a little girl. So they all get together, and we're going to confront her.
Mistake number one.
Yeah. So they get together, and this is, again, it's 2024, so who's the first one to attack the little vampire girl, but the little blonde girl? She got a little freaking like a little steak, and Abigail jumps on the little blonde with the steak, and what does she do? Abigail doesn't go for the jugular, doesn't try to kill her. What does she? She's on some jabs in her freaking ribs.
Pop, pop, pop.
Pop, pop, pop. Jabs in the ribs. Pop, pop, pop. I'm like, what? Why don't you go for the jugular? Why? Because she's a girl, and all us girls need to stick together.
At this point, I really thought, like, I don't know. It was good, but it was
Yeah,
like
real quick,
like
wait a minute.
comedic.
So
you know,
you're
like
telling me this girl, this vampire, is gonna start rib punching this girl? It's so ridiculous. Again, if it was a guy on top of her, you think she'd start rib punching this guy? No, go for the jugular because another girl. Oh, I gotta take you.
rib punching.
Yeah.
Then she took the
gay,
crucifix chain and like
Yeah.
was stabbing the strong guy. Stuck the pool stick on the guy's leg.
That's the thing, too,
Punched
is-
everybody leg.
So there's the last four main characters confront Abigail, and who's the first one to attack? The little blonde girl. It's like, really? She's the first one to get in there? And that's when she was rib punching her, and then others try to save the little blonde girl, and it's just so
I just thought it was so funny that she beat them all up and they all escaped, and then everybody was like, "Hold me back, my big brother,
Oh, yeah.
my big brother, I'm gonna get my big brother on you. You're a bully, Abigail."
So the one who got out of the least is the blonde girl who got a couple punches to the ribs. But the other main guy gets a stake in the leg. The main bruiser guy gets like 1,000 punches with a little crucifix on his chest. So he's bleeding like 1,000 different spots. And so they goes, "We'll be back.
I'm gonna tell my brother,
My brother's gonna come back."
my big brother's gonna get you.
And she lets him wander off. He's okay. I'll see you guys later.
Seriously, man. So that's how you knew it was like, oh, I don't know where this is headed,
That-
but
that's-
like
that's-
this is where it went down for me because like
Yeah.
now you know like she has the power to do all this stuff and she
Yeah.
just like lets him go. She's like
Listen,
playing with her food.
I thought,
That's-
yeah,
that's at the
exactly.
end,
I
right? She's
thought
playing
this
with
was
her
a
food.
really good premise. I thought they had something here, but you know what they did? You know how they kind of lost me? They tried too hard to play it for jokes. There are a lot to really enjoy, but instead of taking the more serious route, let's just play it for jokes. Let's just make it a jokey, haha movie. Don't take anything we're doing seriously. This is so funny, isn't it? We're having a good time. No. They kind of lost me. They had a really great premise, some really good scenes, but they had to ruin it. Like the other thing is, they had this big, badass, basically a mafia guy who knows nothing but death and killing. And what does he do when the little vampire girl attacks him? He runs like a little bitch. Come on, dude. That could have been a potentially great scene, but what does he do? He runs. I didn't like it. It was stupid. They lost me in that scene. So it's a lot of they pull me in. I'm on board, and then they drag me off. This is stupid.
But it had a lot of potential.
It had a lot of potential. Really, really.
And it didn't seem like an expensive movie to me.
No,
the whole movie was literally in probably like a warehouse or like a little house or something, like a mansion. So It had a lot of potential.
And I thought it was funny too. Is kind of like caught up in it. The little girl's like so like, oh help me, they've got me. Please save me. That little girl's so over the top. I was like, oh my god. I hope this is like satire because this little said, help me, please. Pinky, swear you'll come back to me. And she's like, I'll pinky swear with you, my good little friend.
What?
And then little Pinky swears, like, what are you watching? This is so gay. It's like, Pinky swear you'll be my good friend forever. So whacked, bro. Oh my god. What are we watching? Another scene that ruined it for me too is, yeah, she's a ballerina. She can dance, right? So she has to dance so many of the scenes. Like, she's trying to kill this one guy, one of the main characters. She's like dancing on the stair rail. She's such an amazing. She's let's let her dance. She's dancing on the rails to get to the guy. So corny.
You know what? You know a part that I did like though. Seriously, I know it seems weird, but like, I like the fact that like once they knew she was a vampire,
right?
They were like, well, how do we kill a vampire? And I really like the way the blonde girl was like, well, what kind of vampire? Because it could be like True Blood vampire or like Twilight vampire or like.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was pretty cool because
good. Yeah.
because at the end of the day, everybody's done so much vampire stuff, and everybody invents their own little how to kill a vampire or how to become a vampire. Right. Me and Grumble actually had a discussion because we kind of disagreed. I just thought if a vampire bites you, you were a vampire.
Right.
But he was like, no, he has to bite you 3 times.
Well, listen, I'm old school. I'm older than Grouch. And yeah, for all the movies I've seen, you got to bite him 3 times. That's how it works. But,
remember, guys, if you got bit twice, just stay away, man. One more bite.
If you got bit twice, you're golden.
Yeah, that's it, right?
just to make sure that
just put some Neosporin, some Robitussin.
Yeah, rub it in there. You're good.
Yeah, bro. Some big vapor rub. You know what I mean? Just put some anything to clog up those 2 little holes on your.
And you know, I had a lot of flashbacks to Megan. This is very Megan-esque, where they have to have her dance around. I don't know why.
Doing twirls.
Yeah, twirls. She's on the railing doing twirls. And then eventually the little blonde girl who's part of the team gets bitten, and immediately Abigail can control her. Is that like a vampire thing? You can control a vampire? I don't know, man. So I
heard vampires can control like their victims.
Is that? I don't know about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why they can seduce anybody.
What movie was that?
That's what I'm saying. There's so many rules about vampires, bro.
There's a lot of rules. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So.
But the problem with this movie is that every rule was even like contradicting itself.
Right, and then so eventually the little blonde
which is going to make your rating go way down, right? Because it's just such a loophole. It's just contradicting.
Yeah, they're being too loosey goosey with the myth and the lore. I didn't appreciate it. Grouch and I are huge vampire horror fans. We love the original horror vampires, Frankenstein, Wolfman. So we all love it. So to just take the lore and just ignore it, I wasn't on board with that, and neither was Grouch.
Not only that, but like I felt it was so over the top. Yeah. There was like, I have never seen a little dash of light hit a vampire and they just like blow up like an atom bomb, friggin' just hit them.
To be honest, I've seen that.
Yeah, just like.
Wait, have you seen Blade?
I don't know, man.
I have seen them blowing up. Yeah,
I've seen movies where they're like and they do die with the daylight, but like a hint of like, I would have just had my iPhone on a flashlight and just blow everybody up, bro. Yeah. I don't know, man. Just it seemed kind of over the top. It's just like.
I agree with that. Yeah,
they just blow up. I don't know.
But again, like in Megan, they gotta have the little girl dance.
Yeah,
I hated that. It was so whacked. You know, they're running for their lives. And the little blonde girl is like, she has to take a moment or two to dance on the railing too.
I think it shows her
to express herself. I was waiting for any second they're gonna start playing Thriller from Thriller from Michael Jackson, and she's gonna call upon some dancing zombies to help her. So we're my dancing zombies, bitch.
Yeah,
Thriller.
Thriller. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the whole dancing thing is probably just to show us how superior. Like you're just playing with your food. You're just too powerful. You don't. They mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like.
Okay, listen. But here comes one of the dumbest scenes in the entire freaking movie, and we had to start counting them up. There's a lot of dumb scenes, and this was absolutely one of the freaking dumbest. So what happens is the blonde girl, who is part of the team, is now got the main girl and the other guy cornered. They're pretty much done. What are they going to do? So what the girl does, she takes a silver platter, reflects the sunlight at the girl, and it's not like the main girl, she gets burned in her arm. Her arm doesn't like blow up, or her whole body's blow. She points that silver platter at the blonde girl, and she explodes, all bloody.
Well, that's my
guts.
point.
Yeah,
that's too over the top.
Yeah.
No, man,
Dumb.
it should be like acid.
Right, I agree.
That
That's
everything I've ever seen,
ridiculous.
it's like acid. Like you're burning me. Like get that light away from me. You're burning me, type of thing.
Right.
Unless you're like totally like out in the street in the sun, then you might blow up. But just to like barely touch it with a little bit of light, blow up. So that's what I'm saying. Might as well light my iPhone, put my flashlight on, and just blow you up, man. That makes, I don't know, man.
That was really stupid, man.
It was just too.
I couldn't get behind that whatsoever.
Too crazy, too over the top. But there were like really cool scenes. Another cool scene was the kryptonite. We found out the vampire's kryptonite, man.
Listen, for all you vampire hunters out there, we got some good news.
Hello, Mom.
Listen, you got a new weapon for your arsenal. And it
Yes,
is,
sir.
And it is tranquilizers. That's all it takes. Hey, you want to knock out your vampire? Don't bring garlic. That shit don't work. Because she was like sniffing that like it was
Hot panties from the Pope's exorcist. Yeah, that's my
Grouch
air
is
freshener. Every time I get in my car, I'm like,
that shit don't work. Yeah.
oh, it doesn't work on vampires. You're right.
Yeah, so she's sniffing that garlic and it's nothing. There are so many plot holes in this movie. Here's one of the biggest.
But there's one that you can't.
I would love if someone explained this. Patreon subscribers and regular subscribers, please explain this to me. So what happens?
Mom, explain this shit.
Mom, please. Mrs. Grouch, please contact us because I love to know how this happened. They establish a lore and then within 5 minutes they break the lore. And this is what happened.
No, it was bad. This made the movie go south.
Yeah,
like 100%.
I was ready to give this. Screw you, Avatar. This is the best movie we've seen. That's how good I thought it was. I thought this was revolutionary. But check this. So this is what happens is this. So there's the black guy. I don't know what his name was. Lazarus, whatever.
Who?
The black guy. What is
Breaking Bad?
Yeah, the Breaking Bad guy. So he goes, "Hey, listen, join my team."
The Breaking Bad. His name was Lambert.
Lambert. So Lambert says, "Hey, join me, and we could rule the world together." Says, "Okay." Says, "Listen, all you got to do is let me bite you in the neck," and he bites him in the neck, and then, so now he has him right. This is his servant to do his bidding, and then what happens is, immediately afterwards he stabs because he was going to now bite the girl. He's going to kill the girl, his girlfriend. So he kills the black guy. Now he's gone.
Biggest loophole there ever is Abigail, not the rat, but the little girl, Abigail says, "You're going to be okay because Frank died. Now you're no longer a vampire." But then that makes no sense because the black guy, Lambert or whatever, died.
Yes.
And Frank was still a vampire.
Here is the biggest plot hole. I would love it if someone can explain this to us because
the only thing I can think of is Frank was already a vampire. So there's no going back. The Joey was not yet a vampire, right? Joey was not yet a vampire, so maybe she's okay.
No, she wasn't
That's
a vampire.
The only. I mean, she just got bit. She wasn't a vampire yet.
But here's why it makes no sense is what happens is the black guy, the main villain, bites,
Lambert.
Right, bites, what's his name, Frank? Mm-hmm. Bites Frank. So now he becomes a vampire. Mm-hmm. So he's like, well, now you're part of me, so you're going to do my bidding. I'm going to tell you to do this. So what happens is right away he kills Frank.
Right.
Which is fine. Okay, I'm on board with that. I understand it. So now he killed his master.
Right. Who made him a vampire.
Right. So now what happens is, so Frank bites the girl to become a vampire.
And eventually Frank dies.
Right.
And the little girl says, you'll be okay because Frank's dead. You're not going to be a vampire. That's the biggest loophole.
Okay, right. So yeah, Frank bites her. So now she's his minion.
Right.
So now Frank now dies. The little girl Abigail, thank God the two of them team up together because of the matriarchy. So the two of them get together. They kill Frank, and they says like, "Oh, am I going to be a vampire?" No, because I killed Frank, so you're free.
Am I? You're fine now that he's dead.
But meanwhile,
Lambert already
died.
died.
Lambert dies. So
Frank should not be a vampire.
He should no longer be a vampire because his master died. So he should no longer, just like she's no longer a vampire, he should be a vampire either. Huge fucking plot hole.
Again,
somebody explain this to us.
The only thing I can think of is because he drank the blood, he became a vampire like so fast.
She
right?
became a vampire quick too, though.
She was a vampire?
Yeah.
I don't remember her teeth.
I agree. She didn't show the teeth. But even then, she was like, well, you're good. Don't worry about it. Why? Because.
But that's what I'm saying. So the only thing I can think of, and this is the only way, is that Frank was already a vampire.
Right.
So that's why once the other guy died, he still stayed a vampire. Meanwhile, Frank bit the girl. The girl had not changed yet. So then once Frank died, she's no longer gonna become a vampire. I mean, that's a big. I'm just trying to reach out there, but again, I don't know.
You know what I hate about movies?
That was bad though. It
was fucking stupid, man.
Yeah.
I was ready to give this movie like a 6 or 7 out of 10. I was totally on board until this ending. I think the ending was so ridiculous, so stupid. They completely lost me. Again, you know what it has to come down to? I guess 2024 girl power. They gotta have the main girl. I thought she's pretty. I'm totally on board. Team up. They gotta stamp out patriarchy, man. Screw men. This is a girl's world, man. They gotta destroy all mankind because the patriarchy is horrible. So 2 girls team up to defeat the evil man. Oh my God, I'm so sick. So sick of these kind of 2024 movies where the biggest villain is a man. You got twig and berries. You are the worst thing to ever happen to humanity. But if you got you're a girl, you saved the world.
Hey, it rhymes, bro.
Women are here to save the world. You're welcome.
Serious. And eventually the girl Joey just goes back to her son with no money, broke as hell.
Too was like, oh, I can't stand this in 2024. You have this strong female, or another strong female. They got it. That's the thing too. Is like, oh, I almost forgot this too. Is Abigail in this movie was a hard ass bitch who doesn't take shit from anybody. She's a tough bro who's been alive for centuries. She's not like a little girl. She's been alive for centuries. She's a tough broad. The whole movie, she's like kind of like diabolical, trying to negotiate and shit. And at the end of the movie, because
she pinky swore, bro.
Yeah, because she's a little girl, because another female, they gotta team up against the patriarchy. We gotta tear this system down. There are 2 women, and we're gonna stop the patriarchy. Yes, we're gonna stand up to these men because they're ruining society. Why? Why do I have to get put in these freaking movies? Oh my God! How many times are you gonna do this shit to us? The men, especially white men, are the devils, and us women, we need to save the world, and we're gonna do it little by little because we're women, and we can do it.
Hey,
why?
She's gonna go back to her son.
Yeah.
And
we don't give 2 craps about, but yeah, she goes. That's what they too. She's like the most villainous, evil. Which why I loved her.
She's like, we pinky swear.
Yeah,
we pinky swear.
I love the character of Abigail because she was a mean. She didn't give a crap about anybody. Hardcore villain, and all of a sudden, the last like third of the movie, she almost says, "Say hello to your son for me."
His name, by the way, is not Justin. It's I don't remember his real name.
It's Sebastian.
Whatever.
He's a wonderful boy.
Oh, I already knew that.
and I know he's a good boy. Say hello to him for me.
He's gonna get a PlayStation 5 for Christmas.
I'll be sure to show up as Santa Claus and give him a PlayStation 5 because he's a good boy. What are you watching? This is so terrible. Yeah, they gotta play up the all women are so special. They're magical. All women are magical. So, you know what? I was willing to give this movie some high regard.
It was interesting.
Listen, I was willing. I already said this movie. I was like, bro, this is gonna be like a first 6.
Well, I can't exaggerate because there was some like you mean to tell me like the biggest guy that was there. All of a sudden he's crying because he got a splinter in his finger. He's got a splinter in his finger.
Why do that to this guy? There's one guy. There's like a big tough macho dude. And
he got a
splinter in his fingers, crank like, a little bitch. I was like, no. And Abigail so chasing, runs away like a little bitch. I was like, come on, bro. That would have been a cool fight scene.
He looked like Elon Musk.
He's straight Elon Musk. Maybe they cast him because he looks like Elon Musk. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But
let me just, bottom line is, this movie had a lot of potential, which it did not live up to. For whatever reason.
I can't wait for Abigail 2.
Yeah. The corporate elites had to get their claws into this one, man, because
they're fangs, bro. They're fangs.
They're fangs, because this could have been a masterpiece, and instead, it's very disappointing. So let's go to the final reviews.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. So I will have you start.
Hey, Jimmy, write this down.
Jimmy,
write this down.
What do you say, bro? What was this?
Me? Oh, no, it was watchable. It was definitely watchable.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't unwatchable. It was definitely watchable.
So what's your number? 1 through 10.
But, they lost me in so many scenes. I was like, what is this, man? Like a satire? Like this and that? But it did have potential.
There's a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah, no, it did. And at one point, I was, I don't know, I guess I'm dyslexic or something, but I was like, ooh, the bad guy is Dracula backwards, man. Her dad's name is Dracula backwards.
Lazarus. Lazarus. Isn't that Dracula backwards?
But I'm so dyslexic, and Grumble pointed it out. He's like, shut up. So I was like, all right, you're right. What would I give this, man? Oof.
1 out of 10.
I would give it a solid 4. Solid 4.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. That's a good...
Solid 4.
I'm giving it a 5.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 5. Not Avatar levels, but I enjoyed it. There was a lot to be enjoyed here. There's a lot of downsides, but again, I think it was an even mix between good and bad.
On that note,
the Grumble and Grouchy Show.